Good morning. This is Cynthia Gwiazda, Community Services Librarian at Hagaman Memorial Library in East Haven. I'm excited to share with you some new fiction that we have available this January. Happy New Year to all of you, and I look forward to sharing these with you. Please stop into the library anytime. So without further ado, we will talk about some new fiction that we have available. Okay, so new and featured January reads for adult for adult fiction. Okay, new and featured January reads for adult fiction from Hagaman Memorial Library. The first book I'd like to talk to you about is The Sentence by Louise Erdrich. A small independent bookstore in Minneapolis is haunted for a year by the store's most annoying customer. Flora dies on All Souls Day, but she simply won't leave the store. Tookie, who has landed a job selling books after years of incarceration that she survived by reading with murderous attention, must solve the mystery of this haunting, while at the same time trying to understand all that occurs in Minneapolis during a year of grief, astonishment, isolation, and furious reckoning. Erdrich creates in her latest novel a wickedly funny ghost story, a tale of passion, of a complex marriage, and of a woman's relentless errors, among other subjects. It asks us what we owe to the living, the dead, to the reader, and to the book. The Sentence by Louise Erdrich. Doctors and Friends by Kimmery Martin. Hannah Compton and Kira have been close friends since medical school, reuniting once a year for a much-needed vacation. Just as they gather to travel to Spain, an outbreak of fast-spreading virus throws the world into chaos. When Compton Winfield returns to her job as an ER doctor in New York City, she finds a city changed beyond recognition and a personal loss so gutting it reshapes every aspect of her life. Hannah Geyer's career as an OBGYN in San Diego is fulfilling, but she's always longed for a child of her own. After years of trying, Hannah discovers she's expecting a baby just as the disease engulfs her city. Kira Marchand, an infectious disease doctor at the CDC in Atlanta, finds herself at the center of the American response to the terrifying new illness. Her professional battle turns personal when she must decide whether her children will receive an experimental but potentially life-saving treatment. Written prior to COVID-19 by a former emergency medicine physician, Doctors and Friends incorporates unexpected wit, razor-edged poignancy, and a deeply relatable cast of characters who provoke both laughter and tears. Martin provides a unique insider's perspective into the world of medical professionals working to save lives during the most difficult situations of their careers. Doctors and Friends by Kimmery Martin. All That Is Secret by Patricia Raybon. In the winter of 1923, Professor Annalise Spain, a daring but overworked theologian at a small Chicago Bible college, receives a cryptic telegram calling her home to Denver to solve a mystery of the murder of her beloved but estranged father. For a young Black woman searching for answers in a city ruled by the KKK could mean real danger. Still, with her literary hero Sherlock Holmes as inspiration, Anna Lee launches her hunt for clues, attracting two surprising allies: Eddie, a relentless young white boy searching for his missing father, and Jack, a handsome Black pastor who loves nightclub dancing and rides in his sporty car, awakening Annalee's heart to the surprising highs and lows of romantic love. With their help, Annalee follows clues that land her among Denver's powerful elite. But when their sleuthing unravels sinister motives and deep secrets, Annalee confronts the dangerous truths and beliefs that could make her a victim, too. That's called All That Is Secret by Patricia Ray Bond. Off the Wild Coast of Brittany by Juliet Blackwell. Natalie Morgan made a name for herself with a memoir about overcoming her harsh childhood after finding a new life in Paris. After falling in love with a classically trained chef, they moved together to his ancestral home, a teeny fishing village off the coast of Brittany. But then Francis Xavier breaks things off with her without warning, leaving her flat broke and in the middle of renovating the guest house they plan to open for business. Natalie's already struggling when her sister, Alex, shows up unannounced. The sisters form an unlikely partnership to save the guest house, reluctantly admitting their secrets to each other as they begin to heal the scars of their shared past. But the property harbors hidden stories of its own. During World War II, every man of fighting age on the island fled to England to join the Free French forces. The women and children were left on their own until 300 German troops took up residence, living side by side with the French women on the teeny island for the next several years. When Natalie and Alex unearth an old cookbook in a hidden cupboard, they find handwritten recipes that reveal old secrets. With the help of locals, the Morgan sisters begin to unravel the relationship between Violette, a young islander whose family ran the guest house during World War II, and Rainier, a German military customs official with a devastating secret of his own. That's Off the Wild Coast of Brittany by Juliet Blackwell. Death at Greenway by Lori Rader Day. Bridie Kelly has come to Greenway House, the beloved holiday home of Agatha Christie, in disgrace. A terrible mistake at St. Precia's Hospital in London has led to her dismissal as a nurse trainee, and her only chance for redemption is a position in the countryside caring for children evacuated to safety from the Blitz. Greenway is a beautiful home full of riddles, wondrous, curious, not to be touched, restrictions on rooms not to be entered. Wondrous curios not to be touched, restrictions on rooms not to be entered, and a generous library filled with books about murder. The biggest mystery might be the other nurse, Gigi, who is like no one Bridie has ever met. Chasing 10 young children through the winding paths of the estate grounds might have soothed Bridie's anxieties and grief if Greenway were not situated so near the English Channel and the rising aggressions of the war. When a body washes ashore near the estate, Bridie is horrified to realize this is not a victim of war, but of a brutal killing. As the local villagers look among themselves, Bridie and Gigi discover they each harbor dangerous secrets about what has led them to Greenway. With a mystery writer's home as their unsettling backdrop, the young women must unravel the truth before their safe haven becomes a place of death. Death at Greenway by Lori Rader Day. The Wicked Widow by Beatrice Williams. June 1925, audacious Appalachian flapper Geneva Jin Kelly prepares to trade her high-flying ways for respectable marriage to Oliver Anson Marshall, a steadfast prohibition agent who happens to hail from one of New York's most distinguished families. But just as wedding bells chime, the head of the notorious East Coast rum-running racket, the Anson's mortal enemy, turns up murdered at a society funeral, and their short-lived honeymoon bliss goes up in a spectacular blaze that sends Anson back undercover and into the jaws of a trap, from which not even Jin can rescue him. As violence explodes around her, Jin must summon all her considerable moxie to trace the tentacles of this sinister organization back to their shocking source and face down a legendary American family at a rigged game it has no intention of losing. June 1998, when Ella Domerich's 90-something society queen, Aunt Julie, ropes her into digging up dirt on Senator and presidential candidate Franklin Hardcastle in order to settle old family scores, she couldn't be less enthusiastic. Pregnant Ella's recently ditched her unfaithful husband and settled into cozy, if complicated, domesticity with her almost too good to be true musician boyfriend, Hector. But then the Hardcastle secrets lead to a web of shady dealings Ella's uncovered in her job as a financial analyst, and the bodies start to tumble out of the venerable woodwork. With the help of her ex-husband and her mysterious connection to a certain red-headed flapper, Ella digs up more than mere dirt, only to discover herself standing alone between a legendarily ruthless family and the prize it sought for generations. What ugly secrets lurk in the opulent enclaves and bank accounts of America's richest families? And can two determined women from two different generations thwart the murderous legacy of the demon liquor? The Wicked Widow by Beatrice Williams. Intimacies by Katie Kitamura. An interpreter has come to The Hague to escape New York and work at the International Court. A woman of many languages and identities, she is looking for a place to finally call home. She's drawn into simmering personal dramas. Her lover, Adrian, is separated from his wife, but still entangled in his marriage. Her friend Jana witnesses a seemingly random act of violence, a crime the interpreter becomes increasingly obsessed with as she befriends the victim's sister. And she's pulled into an explosive political controversy when she's asked to interpret for a former president accused of war crimes. A woman of quiet passion, she confronts power, love, and violence, both in her personal intimacies and in her work at the court. She is soon pushed to the precipice, where betrayal and heartbreak threaten to overwhelm her, forcing her to decide what she wants from her life. Intimacies is not only a national New York Times bestseller, but one of the Times top 10 books of 2021. It's also longlisted for the National Book Award in Fiction and has been included in President Obama's list of his favorite books of 2021. That's Intimacies by Katie Kitamura. Oh, William by Elizabeth Strout. Lucy Barton is a writer, but her ex-husband William remains a hard man to read. William, she confesses, has always been a mystery to me. Another mystery is why the two have remained connected after all these years. They just are. So Lucy's both surprised and not surprised when William asks her to join him on a trip to investigate a recently uncovered family secret. One of those secrets that rearrange everything we think we know about the people closest to us. What happens next is nothing less than another example of what fellow author Hilary Mantel has called Strout's perfect attunement to the human condition. There are fears and insecurities, simple joys and acts of tenderness, and revelations about affairs and other spouses, parents, and their children. On every page of this exquisite novel, we learn more about the quiet forces that hold us together, even after we've grown apart. At the heart of this story is the indomitable voice of Lucy Barton, who offers a profound, lasting reflection on the very nature of existence. This is the way of life, Lucy says. The many things we do not know until it's too late. In addition to being a New York Times bestseller, Oh, William has been listed as one of the top 10 books of 2021 in national publications, such as the Washington Post, the New York Times Book Review, and Time. Oh, William by Elizabeth Strout. And that concludes our book talk for January Reads for Adult Fiction. I hope you've enjoyed this book talk, and I hope you'll come to the library and check out some of these books. And if they are checked out, if they've been borrowed, you can place holds on them. You can call the library to place holds at 203-468-3890. You can also go onto the library's website at www.hagaman, Hagaman, Hagam like Mary, An like Nancy, library.org. So that's www.hagamanlibrary.org. And you can click on my account, and you can log into your account using your library card, the barcode on the back. And you can place a reserve on these titles right through our website as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I wish you all a happy and healthy 2022. And I look forward to coming back on next month for our next edition for February. So I wish you all well. Thank you very much.